Today in Brussels, a bunch of loser terrorists decided to bomb an airport and what I believe is also a metro station, a train station. I'm just going to read off some of the key points on this on the BBC News website. More than 30 people are believed to have been killed in the attacks on the Brussels Central Airport and metro station. 2 blasts were at the airport in the departure lounge, I believe, so quite a big area full of lots of people. There's a picture there of all the what look like the ceiling panels have fallen down. The Islamic State claims responsibility for this, of course they fucking would, and this blast comes just days after the capture of this dude, Salah Abdel, I don't know, the main figure in the Paris attacks in November. So what I basically want to say is that this sort of thing is eventually going to become a very common occurrence, in the same way that mass shootings are in America. I'm pretty sure that soon we're going to have a weekly set of terrorist attacks. This thing, if it hasn't already, is becoming quite a common thing. Just last November, as mentioned there was a huge attack in France which killed over 180 people. Thankfully they got the bastards in the end, but yeah, this thing is going to keep happening, and there's quite a simple reason why it happens, mainly because we started this really big fuck up of a war over in Syria, and now hundreds and hundreds of economic migrants are pouring into the country, and some of them turn out to be terrorists a lot of the time, even though I realise that some of these terrorists are homegrown, so some were actually from France, and I suspect some of these guys who blew up this airport are probably going to be from Belgium. However, the majority are people that swarm over from the war-torn country of Syria. So I've just read this here. This is exactly what I mean. The branded statement issued via IS's official social media accounts warned of worse to come for the Crusader states aligned against the Islamic State. See, this is exactly what I mean. We've brought this upon ourselves, effectively. What happened in Syria was we decided to go over there and attempt to overthrow the dictator Assad, which therefore sparked this revolution, and now we have this big fuck up where the FSA, the Free Syrian Army, is fighting against Assad. This terrorist group, Islamic State, seems to have spawned from that, and now is basically fighting us. And this is the sort of thing that happens all the time. This happened in Iraq and Afghanistan with the Taliban. This happened in Libya when we went over there and tried to overthrow or what's his face, I can't even remember the dude's name. He used to wear loads of badges whenever he was on TV or whatever. He'd have like loads of medals that he'd awarded himself. Gaddafi, that's the guy. Anyway, so that shit happened over there. Libya now has 5 governments thanks to that. Well, they say governments, but they may as well just call them tribes of these Islamic extremist groups that just go around basically killing each other all the time. And when they're not killing each other, they're trying to kill us. So this is now the 4th time in a row this sort of shit has happened. So I don't have any quick term solution to this terrorist problem which we're having in Europe at the moment. I doubt anybody will have any solution to this problem for many years to come. However, I do have something to say that we don't want to do, and that is give in to this sort of acts of terrorism. Okay, one of the things that the EU is trying to do as a knee-jerk reaction to the Paris attacks in November is trying to ban certain privately owned legal firearms. Now, this is a complete and utter knee-jerk reaction that we'll go into in another video, which does absolutely nothing but effectively let the terrorists win. Alright, that's the one thing you must never do when facing terrorism, and that is give in to it. Alright, the trick is in the name. Terrorists. They're trying to incite terror into you. If we end up living as basically a police state because we're too shit scared to go out and do anything because some scary men might try and kill us, then we've just effectively let them win. So that's what we mustn't do. The other thing we mustn't do, which has probably been said for every time this has happened, is let this sort of shit happen again. Alright? I've always said it, better to have a bloodthirsty dictator than a band of these just tribal Islamic groups that just have nothing better to do and, to be honest, don't want anything else to do other than killing us and killing themselves. So the next time there is, let's just put it this way. President Assad, the Syrian president, now has support of the Russians on his side. Now, we don't really know that much about their activities, but they've been bombing the absolute crap out of the FSA, which is the side that we're supposed to support. They don't go anywhere near ISIS because, hell, why should they? The ISIS are bombing the West. That's, I'm pretty sure the Russians are quite happy with that. But let's just put it this way. At least Russia is supporting the right side. It's supporting the guy who was in control first, had a cap on his country until the West come along and messed everything up for him, and now are suffering the consequences. So, rather than these people, we shouldn't either support these people, but we shouldn't, try and fuck with their shit at the same time, alright? It may be a bloodthirsty dictator that's massacring hundreds of his own people, but that's still better at the end of the day than hundreds of people trying to massacre us. Anyway, that's all I have to say on this. My condolences to all the poor families of people that now have to go home today to find out that one of their loved ones or relatives has been blown to bits because of some scumbags who believe in absolute bullshit. Cheers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for my one about the EU knee-jerk reaction laws. Okay, thanks, bye.